Good afternoon and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
Yeah, not too bad, John. Not too bad.
We are here today to reflect on today's loss at Aylesbury FC. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, obviously it's a very disappointing afternoon. It's a massive game for the club today. You know, we wanted to, try and get that win. We knew Barton were at Rugby, which would be a tough game for them. And we were desperate. We were desperate to go and get 3 points that would pretty much clinch our playoff spot. But it was one of those days. We could have been 1 or 2 up. We've had some good chances, and unfortunately we didn't take our chances today. And we got that sort of sucker punch whereby they the lads sort of crossed the ball, and unfortunately where it's taken a bit of a bobble, it's sort of flown right into the top corner, and it's given them a 1-0 lead, which was undeserved. There's no doubt about it. We weren't great, but we were still sort of causing them lots of problems. And we went in at half time, and listen, you hear obviously people, a few moans and groans and stuff like that from the fans. I don't think people realise actually how tough it was for the lads out there today. The pitch was, was very poor. There was one stage where I think I said to Sean Fraser, take a touch, and he took a great touch, and then it just bobbled up again, and it was a very difficult afternoon, and to play the type of football that we want to play was very difficult, and so you do end up having to go a little bit sort of gung ho and route one a little bit, and it didn't work for us today. But yeah, so we were disappointed, and went in at half time and sort of said, look, you're still in the game, but you've got to go out and work hard second half. And listen, we're never going to hammer the lads for poor crosses or whatever on a pitch like that. As long as they're trying to do the right things. However, I felt at the time, second half, we stopped doing the right things.
And obviously, immediately after half time, there was a sucker punch of second goal. I guess that really changed your game plans of what you were trying to tell the lads to do at half time. Yeah,
Of course it does. You go to. We went 2-0 down and 3-0 down very quickly, and our biggest defeat this season, in the league's been 3-1. So we're sitting there and thinking, right, where do you go? And we did. We lacked leaders today. I'll have no problems in saying that. You're missing Dave Woosley, you're missing Adam Fowler, you're missing Ryan Parsons. 3 players who are very vocal and all the lads look up to. And so they're big losses for us. And I don't think, anyone really sort of took that mantle throughout the side. And that was a problem. That was a problem for us. But listen, at the end of the day, it was one of those days. Things didn't quite work for us, and we didn't play well. But we need everyone to be positive. Those lads have gone on an unbelievable run for 3 months, and you start to hear 1 or 2 negative comments about, are they good enough and things like that. Well, they've proved that they are. That those players have proved that they are over a long period of time, and we've just got to remain positive and go and try and finish the job off against Chelsea.
Looking at today's game specifically, apart from you brought up leadership as potential, a missing factor. Was there anything else, either technically or as a coach, that you would pinpoint from the game that you thought was lacking that you need to address before Chelsea?
Well, I just think we lacked composure in front of goal today. I think we snatched at too many chances. We got plenty of the ball into the box, but sometimes it was just that final bit of quality. And that was all round. You can't pinpoint that at Johnny Dyer, Eddie Smith, Adam Cornell. It was as a team, really. The quality in the final third just wasn't there, and that's not something you can say that we've been lacking. We've had a lot of quality in the final third, and today was probably down to a bit of composure, really.
And are you concerned about confidence in the camp as well?
No, not really. The lads will take the plaudits, and they'll take I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 negative comments. It's part of football. You see it every level. That you look at Chelsea losing at home to Sunderland, 2-1 the other day. It happens. There's results that happen all the time, and they'll be disappointed, but we've got a good game, against Chertsey to try and put it right. And obviously Chertsey will still come fighting and trying to spoil our party and whatever else, and that's fine. But we just need to get the lads to stand up and be counted and give it a final push. And the thing is that the playoffs is a complete lottery. We've been in it 2 years on the bounce. I've watched it for the last 5 or 6 years. There is no rhyme or reason for whoever goes up. It is very much what you do on the day, and on the day you've got every chance. So if we can get ourselves in there, and we've still got to do that. But if we can get in there, then who knows? And
it's in your hands today after Barton lost at Rugby. I'm sure way back in those dark days in December, you'd have snapped people's hands off to say, going into the final weekend of the championship, you were in a playoff berth and it was within your grasp to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people have to realise where we've come from, because I think at that point we were 17, 18 points off top spot, and we were a mile off it. At times we'd actually played more games than others, so we weren't really ever out of the playoff picture. However, I think at one point we were really net 9th in the league. We'd lost eight games by December the 28th, which for a side that's looking to get in the playoffs is too many games. And at the end of the day, we said there and then that we'd need to go on a fantastic run, and the lads have gone on an unbelievable run. We said back before, I think it was the Chalfont St Peter game, that we had probably only had 4 lives left. We used our 4th life up today against Aylesbury. So since that time, we've lost 3 games and we've drawn 1. We can get ourselves in the playoffs, and that's our a massive aim for us, in January, because I didn't think that we would get there.
Looking at the squad situation, obviously Aylesbury went down to 10 men when Stevens was sent off. You yourself went down to 10 when Sean Fraser came off with an injury. What's the latest on that? Are there any other knocks and niggles? Because I know Johnny Dyer obviously going into the game passed a fitness test. What's the latest squad situation for injuries?
Yeah, well, Sean sort of turned his ankle a little bit. We said to him, at that point it was 3-0, and we knew that Rugby were winning 2-0, and we said to Sean, are you going to make it any worse by staying on? And he said probably. So we just said, well, we'll just come off. However, he's a little bit more buoyant in the changing room. He doesn't think it's quite as bad as he thought it might be. So hopefully he'll be okay. Johnny Dyer obviously got through the 90 today, so hopefully there's no problems from him. Ryan Parsons obviously got a problem with his hamstring, very unlikely to be fit Saturday. Other than that,
Scott Harris.
Well, Scott Harris again. Yeah, Scott's. He might, with a bit of luck, if we got to a playoff final, he might be available for that. But at the moment, he's still a little bit of a way off. So yeah, we've got a few problems. However, we have Woos back in the fold. We'll have Steve Duff back in the fold. We've got 1 or 2 to come back in. So obviously Woos will come in and he'll hopefully give a few of the lads a bit of belief around him because he is a leader and he is a talker.
And finally, what's the plan with the team for the rest of the week? Training Thursday?
Yeah, we'll train Thursday. Obviously, we won't do anything tomorrow because we've just played Saturday, Monday, so we'll train on Thursday, and we'll get the lads ready for a massive game on Saturday. And it's winner takes all. Effectively, if we go and win, then we're in the playoffs. And as I said, that's a good outcome from where we've had a tough season. We've had a tough season. My toughest season, I'm sure in definitely in management and probably even as a player. I don't remember quite so many sort of injuries and things like that have actually affected us. So listen, if we get in there and we've got a great chance of doing it, I'll be absolutely delighted. And then who knows what will happen.
And finally, any message for the Slough fans to try and get them to come along on Saturday and really cheer the boys home?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, they have been first class recently. You know, I heard a few negative bits and stuff, and I do accept it and I do understand it. However, you know, these are the same lads that have picked up 40 points from 45 recently. So, you know, get behind them, get behind us, get behind them, and cheer us on to hopefully getting in the playoffs. And the boys will try and deliver. Listen, they're honest lads, and they want it just as much as you guys. Believe me, you know, we're in that change room. We were hurting today, so they want it just as much as you guys. So get behind them. You know, really get together, and we need to do this as a club.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure all the listeners will appreciate your honesty and your fronting up after a defeat. Good luck in this week. Good luck on Thursday, and we wish you all the best for the weekend ahead.
Cheers, John.